This is it. Just as the moon has risen. Hey guys, that night I visited another World War II mass grave. The site is set at an unassuming location at a crossroads surrounded by trees and bushes. It's a confirmed mass grave with an estimated more than 100 buried soldiers and civilians. When I visited a similar location in April this year, I got a lot of activity and some of my best anomalies so far. I wanted to see if I could get similar activity at this site too. Normally when I do investigations, I drive and park somewhere in the vicinity of the location. But this time I decided to park in the nearby town and then hike 10 kilometers or 6 miles to the actual spot. For a long time I walked along a hydropower plant's reservoir. And if you're wondering, it was completely dark at that point. I wanted to get attuned to the night, and I also wanted to challenge myself. Some time later, I left the reservoir and walked through farmland, and for a long time, I walked alongside this eerie cornfield. But for the record, I never turned on my torch at any point during the hike. And after 2.5 hours, I finally reached my destination. Let's set up and begin. That's my static camera to the left. On the backpack, there's the EMF meter or the K2 meter, that green light on top. I also placed a cross here as a trigger object, and of course there's the bigger monument statue cross. At that point I took a walk around the area. That's one road. That's another one. That light in the distance, that's a light from the nearest village. This is the center of the crossroads. Another entrance into this little forest. That's the moon. It's not full. It's about more than half full. I don't know what's the proper terminology for that, but you can see for yourself. And this is the final road leading to the crossroads. This area might look ominous, but so far I don't feel anything special. I always start with a moment of silence when visiting locations such as this one. Now it was time for me to introduce myself and call out. Pozdravljeni, moje ime je Samo. Ne želim vam nič žalega, prihajam v miru. Zvedel sem, da se tu nahaja veliko grobišče iz konca druge svetovne vojne. In sem rekel, da se bom oglasil, ker me zanima življenje po smrti, duhovi. Hkrati pa vam dajem priložnost, da mi sporočite, prenesete kakšno vaše sporočilo, karkoli bi vi radi povedali. Zdaj imate priložnost. Govorite v tisto napravo tam, kjer svetijo dve rdeči luči. Tu, poleg križa, pa je druga naprava, ki mi pove, da ste tu, da ste blizu. Če se boste približali, boste videli, se bodo zasvetle barvne luči. Govori se, da je okrog 100 ljudi tu pokopanih, vojakov in civilistov. To drži. Since nothing is happening at the moment, I wanted to show you something else. I owe you an explanation. Remember that orb from the beginning of the video? That's actually a firefly or a glowworm flying around. These are light-emitting insects which glow faintly to attract mates, most commonly in June, but they can also appear in July. I encountered a few of them on my hike and in the area where I did my investigation, so I have to be careful not to mistake their glow for paranormal orbs. Nothing's happening with the EMF meter, so let's try something else. Those were the only EMF spikes that happened that night. Now we're back to doing something else. If somebody's still here, they could be afraid or shy. So I'm going to put this trail camera at one of the entrances to this forest and just leave it there. See if something interacts with it. Counting down. Unfortunately, the trail camera didn't capture anything special. I'll turn off the EMF. This is the last thing I want to try. This is just a normal bell. I have taped it so it doesn't make any noise for when I was walking. I'm going to untape it and hang it from this rod. I've steadied it. Now I'm going to call out and maybe move away from the area if there's a chance that they're afraid of me. Postavil sem en majhen zvonček. Tudi na ta način se lahko pogovarjamo. Lahko mi pokažete, da ste tu. Prosim vas, premaknite ga in bom zagotovo vedel, da ste tu. It's here. Naredite to, nič vam ne bo. No luck tonight, but I'm going to try this bell at other locations because I think it's a very simple and powerful piece of equipment, especially on windless nights like this one. However, there's one anomaly I'd like to show you. When I was in the middle of the bell experiment, one of my camera's microphones captured what sounds like a distorted voice. At that time, the microphone was pointed south, while the other camera, the one that was pointed at the cross facing north, doesn't capture anything. Listen for yourselves. On one hand, it seems like a woman's voice, or possibly a child's, but I can't make out what it's saying, and on the other hand, it could just be audio pareidolia. After the bell experiment, I said my goodbyes and thanks and left the area. I didn't hike all the way back to my car. My wife picked me up by the side of the road. That's all for this one. Thank you for watching. And a special thanks to those who have subscribed. I really appreciate it. Take care and goodbye.